An original podcast from podlatino.com.
The first time he tried to run, he collapsed before reaching the end of the block. His lungs burned, his legs shook, and his chest felt like it might explode. For a man who had lived years on the edge of overdose, it was not the danger of drugs that nearly killed him that day. It was the simple act of moving forward. For most of his life, forward had never been an option. He grew up in a city that forgot him, surrounded by violence and scarcity. Addiction came early, a quick escape from pain, and soon it consumed everything else. He lost his job. He lost his family. He lost himself. Nights on the street blurred into mornings in alleys. Days disappeared into the haze of craving. By the time the police picked him up, he was a shadow. The charges, possession, theft, resisting arrest, were enough to send him to prison. But a judge, weary of the revolving door of addicts who came and went from her courtroom, gave him a choice: mandatory rehab or a longer sentence behind bars. He chose rehab. At first, he hated it. The rules, the structure, the silence. It all felt like prison without bars. But the counselors insisted on physical activity, and one suggested running. He laughed at the idea. He had not run since he was a child. Still, one morning, out of desperation, he laced up a pair of donated sneakers and stepped outside. That first run nearly broke him. But something happened in those gasping minutes. For the first time in years, he felt alive. The sweat was cleansing, the pounding heartbeat a reminder that his body was still capable of more than destruction. He tried again the next day, and the next. Soon, running became routine. The streets that once held his shame now carried his footsteps. Every block conquered felt like a small victory over the years he had lost. Each mile was proof that he was moving, away from the needles, away from the darkness, toward something he could not yet name. 6 months later, when his rehab ended, he did not stop. He joined a local running group. At first, he stayed at the back, embarrassed, afraid of judgment. But the other runners didn't ask about his past. They asked about his pace, his training, his goals. For the first time, he belonged somewhere without needing to lie or hide. The transformation was slow but undeniable. The man who once searched for veins now searched for finish lines. He traded nights on the street for mornings on the track. Instead of chasing highs, he chased miles. A year after his first run, he signed up for his first marathon. The distance terrified him, but on race day, as he crossed the starting line surrounded by thousands, he realized he was not just running against the clock, he was running against the person he used to be. Every mile marker was a grave he left behind. At mile 20, when his legs screamed and his mind begged to stop, he thought about the cell he might still be in. He thought about the alley where he almost died. He thought about the judge who had given him one last chance. And he kept moving. He crossed the finish line with tears streaming down his face. The medal placed around his neck was not gold or silver, it was redemption. It was proof that he had outrun the man he once was. Word spread. Newspapers picked up his story. Other recovering addicts sought him out, asking how he had done it. He began to speak at shelters, at schools, at prisons. His message was simple: if I can do this, so can you. Today, he runs not just for himself, but for others. He organizes charity races to fund rehabilitation programs. He mentors young people on the brink of falling where he once fell. And every morning, before the sun rises, he laces his shoes and takes that first step, still running, still moving forward. His past will always be with him, but with every mile, it falls further behind. Because running did not just save his life, it gave him a second chance,